Dad? What color is the sky? Tyler's small voice cut through the silence like a blade. Robert Blackstone, Chicago's billionaire businessman, froze. He was sitting behind his massive oak desk, scanning a contract worth millions. But in that instant, the papers in his hand turned worthless. His son's words knocked the air out of his chest. How do you tell a blind child about colors? How do you explain something he has never seen? Tyler was 9. He had never seen the sun, the sky, or his father's proud face. Born blind, the boy lived his entire life in darkness, inside a mansion worth $15 million. And Robert, who believed money could buy anything, had spent millions chasing cures in Switzerland, Boston, Tokyo, yet every doctor said the same thing: untreatable. Still, he kept trying, because failure wasn't in Robert Blackstone's vocabulary. But that question, what color is the sky, reminded him of the one thing his money couldn't buy. He didn't answer. He couldn't. That silence was when someone else quietly stepped into his world. "I'm sorry to interrupt, sir," said a voice from the doorway. Robert turned sharply. A cleaning lady stood there, holding a mop, her gray hair tied back neatly. She was new, barely a week on the job. "My name's Rose Washington," she said softly. Robert waved her off. "Talk to the butler. And stay away from my son." He went back to his laptop. Rose lowered her head respectfully, but her eyes lingered on Tyler. "Hi, sweetheart," she whispered. Tyler tilted his head toward her voice. "I'm Tyler. You sound kind." Robert frowned. "Tyler, go to your room." But his son didn't move. For reasons Robert couldn't understand, the boy seemed drawn to her voice. And Rose said something strange, almost like a riddle. "Darkness, son, is just the beginning of light." Tyler smiled, a rare smile Robert hadn't seen in weeks. That night, while the mansion slept, Rose knelt beside her small servant's bed and prayed. From her bag, she pulled a little jar filled with ointment her grandmother had taught her to make in Louisiana. It was a mixture of herbs, oils, and whispered prayers, a family remedy passed down generations. Robert would call it nonsense, but Rose had seen it work before.
The next morning, as Rose dusted the shelves, she heard Tyler's footsteps. "Rose, you came back," he said, recognizing her by sound alone. She knelt beside him. "Of course I did. People like me keep promises." She let him touch the leaves of plants from the garden, describing textures: smooth, rough, sharp. She guided his fingers across rosemary and lavender. "That smell," she said, "is what purple feels like." Tyler laughed. For the first time in months, the boy actually laughed. Robert noticed. He stormed out one afternoon, furious. "Rose, in my office, now!" Inside, his voice was sharp. "I told you, stay away from him. He needs professional help, not fairy tales. Dr. Harrison charges $1,000 an hour. That's what he needs, not this." Rose met his glare calmly. "Your son is lonely, Mr. Blackstone. Sadness can't be cured with money." Robert's pride flared. "You're here to clean floors. Stick to that." But Rose wasn't shaken. She had lived through segregation, raised children on her own, survived decades of struggle. Robert Blackstone's money didn't scare her. That evening, while Robert was away, Rose slipped into Tyler's room. "I brought something special," she whispered. She opened her cloth sachet. "Smell this." Tyler breathed deeply. "It smells like sunshine." "Close your eyes," she said. "Yes, I know they're always closed, but close them deeper. Tell me what you feel." Tyler sat quietly, then gasped. "I see something, Rose. A tiny golden spark." Rose smiled. "Hold on to it. That light will grow, but it's our secret." Day by day, Tyler changed. His steps grew more confident. He laughed more. When doctors tested him, they noticed subtle improvements. "Reflexes are better," Dr. Harrison said. "Maybe the treatments are finally working." Robert was thrilled. Finally, progress. But he didn't know the truth, that every night Rose sat with Tyler, gently applying ointment to his eyes, whispering prayers as she did. "Why are you helping me?" Tyler asked. "Because light doesn't come from money. It comes from faith, from love." Weeks passed. Rose secretly kept a journal of Tyler's progress. March 10, he sensed sunlight through closed eyes. March 20, he recognized the outline of my hand. April 2, he named the color blue by the pool. Meanwhile, Robert held a press conference, bragging to the media, "My son is improving thanks to our investment in experimental medicine. We've spent over $2 million this year alone." Cameras flashed. Robert smiled. Dr. Harrison nodded gravely beside him. Rose stood in the corner, serving coffee, biting her tongue. She knew the truth. And so did Tyler, who kept sneaking glances toward her. Then came the morning everything changed. Tyler burst into Robert's study, shouting, "Dad, I can see the flowers in the garden. The red ones Rose planted." Robert froze. Flowers? He hadn't planted anything. He turned to Rose later, his voice low and furious. "What have you been doing?" Rose looked him in the eye. "What you never did. I gave him time, love, and a gift passed down from my grandmother." She placed her worn notebook on the table, filled with notes, dates, progress. Robert flipped through the pages in disbelief. Photos, scribbles, evidence. "You've been healing him?" he whispered. Rose nodded. "While you bragged to cameras, I prayed with your son." Just then Tyler entered. "Dad, why are you angry?" Robert's voice shook. "Tell me the truth, son. Who helped you see? The doctors or her?" Tyler looked at them both, then said softly, "Rose, Dad. It was always Rose. The doctors only hurt me. She gave me hope." The words crushed Robert. He realized the truth. All his millions, all his pride, had done nothing. The miracle came from the woman he barely acknowledged. That night, Robert got a call from his press secretary. "Sir, the Tribune has proof. They know it wasn't the doctors. Tomorrow's headline, 'Millionaire takes credit for miracle performed by cleaning lady.' Your reputation is finished." Robert hung up in silence. He looked at Rose. "You ruined me." Rose shook her head. "I didn't have to. The truth ruined you." From then on, nothing was the same. Tyler's sight returned more each day. He recognized colors, shapes, even faces. He laughed like a boy reborn. And Robert, stripped of arrogance, had no choice but to face reality. His empire couldn't buy what Rose had given him. She had returned light to his son's world, and Tyler never stopped reminding him. So, what can we learn here? Maybe the most powerful answers don't come from where we expect. Not from money, not from prestige, but from love, faith, and the people we overlook. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs hope. Because sometimes the miracle we're waiting for isn't in hospitals or bank accounts. It's standing right beside us, hidden in plain sight.